It's her first book, Playing the Long Game by Christine Sinclair, and that's who's joining us now. I am so happy that you're here live and in person.
Thanks for having me.
It is so great to have you here. And I was asking you, because I said, just to confirm, right, this is your first book, and you broke out into a sweat.
Yeah,
you're
like that, yeah. Absolutely. First one.
How did it
maybe
feel?
A kid's book down the line.
Yeah, ooh, I'd love to see a little kid's book. But how did it feel to just put emotions on paper?
It wasn't the best experience. Obviously, Stephen, he's done a ton of these and helped. But I am a private, quiet person. And I'm sure there were days where he was like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. But we got through it.
You did. It's beautifully written, your emotions, how you felt during certain games, and then to your point, how you felt in private moments in your life. Because we had always heard about what was happening kind of here and there with your mom, your dad, and this is the first time you talk about it.
Yeah.
And you start off with the dedication on your mom. How important was it to share even just a little bit of their story and what they meant to you?
Yeah, I mean, I went into it a little bit, but obviously they're the two most influential people in my life, and it has been a struggle. We've obviously faced family issues, and especially for my mom, all the work I do with the MS Society, I think it was vital that it went into the book. And unfortunately, while writing the book, she passed away. So it was important to at least share to the world how much they meant to me.
I don't know if it was a coincidence, but when you dove in a little bit more about them, it was chapter 12. That's your number that you wear.
I never actually thought of that.
No.
So you caught something.
I'm big on numbers. I'm always a believer.
I never thought of that. So.
Yeah, when you dove in, that's the chapter where you talk a little bit more about them was number 12. And I wasn't sure if that was intentional.
I did not even know.
Okay, now I'm getting goosebumps on
weird.
that.
That's weird.
Because, yes, I love it when things align that way. And obviously, there's John Herdman, who comes on board in 2012. I don't think it'd be fair to compare, like, how does he compare to Evan? But what did he mean even for you personally?
John, he's one of those coaches that just gets you. And he got our team and he got me individually. And he inherited a team that had just finished dead last at a World Cup that was broken. You know, you had half the team questioning, like, why the heck am I doing this anymore? Like, you're not making a ton of money. Like, you're missing out on family things. Like, is it worth it? And he helped us, like, rediscover our why and our passion. Kind of brought us back to that little kid that fell in love with the sport. And we went on and built from there, and it's the culture he creates. I mean, you see it in the men's team now, that brotherhood, and the 2012 London Olympic team. It's one I'll never forget. We would do absolutely anything for each other, and he created that.
2012, you dive into it. We know the story. I remember working the Olympics here. But I actually want to go into a story you share here that people don't realize, which again caught me off guard because you're so reserved. But you're at a bar with friends, and there's the last call at 11 p.m.
Oh, God.
You know where I'm going with this.
God.
And then you kind of flash the medal and go, but is it last call for an Olympic medalist? Who egged you on to do that, or was that all on your own?
No, obviously I was with some friends, and I mean, how often do you win an Olympic medal?
Right.
And it's like, really?
Apparently 3 times for you, but we won't go there.
I was like, you're really going to close it down? And my friends are like, come on, just show the medal. And like, they won't close. Come on, just show. And I'm like, and it just went on from there. I mean, there's very few times in my life where I don't like to boast, but I'm glad I did on that occasion.
Yes.
That was fun.
And that is a great story. I am glad you did that too. You also dive into, a domestic league, the importance of that. But another part that caught my attention was how you mentioned Vanessa Gilles and how she's a good example of why a domestic league is important because she holds 2 passports. She can also play for France.
Yeah, I think it's, yes, the players that can have dual citizenship and may choose to go play for France. But also I just think of all the players we miss that maybe aren't one of the best players in Canada at the age of 16, 17, 18, but who knows where they could have developed. And maybe they don't want to go overseas to play pro, or they didn't make it in the NWSL, but it doesn't mean their career should end.
Yeah, because you see also the program and the way it's growing. Again, 3 medals culminates in this gold medal as well in Tokyo. And I'm sure you've been asked this 1,000 times, but anything in particular that really stands out when Julia Grosso finally gets that goal that seals the gold? Change the color. There's your other mantra, right?
Anything that stands out, it just was a blur, honestly. Like, I've had the honor of representing Canada for a long time, and I never thought we would stand on the top of a podium, and to have that dream come true with some of your best friends. You fought through everything to get to that, and to have Julia step up, this young kid, like just like, sure, all that, it's just a blur. And the pictures, the videos after, it's just raw emotion, everything we've gone through. And then, I just remember their goalkeeper punting the ball, and I'm like, I gotta get that. And I still have that. It's in my house.
Do you have the ball? Oh, I love it.
Absolutely. The CSA has been like, I'm like, no, that's mine. I've earned that.
Yeah. It's in case there's a lock. Goodbye.
Yeah,
you're not touching that
mine.
ball. You mentioned in your book for the very first time, because you do talk about a chronic Achilles injury that you had for a long time, and that in 2021 you started to feel better, and then you say, so, retirement plans got pushed. And I went, wait a second, did she just talk, what? Like, was there a real chance that this injury was going to force you to retire?
I think when I had mapped out my plan.
Those plans.
Yes. Tokyo was probably going to be it. But then the pandemic happened, and it got pushed back. And then there's a World Cup right around the corner. You know what I mean? I feel great. I feel better than I did 5-6 years ago. And the amount of people that have told me, don't retire too early, you can't go back. This is one of those few jobs that you can't go back and restart. So as long as I'm having fun, as long as I'm still waking up every day, looking to get better, as long as my coaches still want me around and my teammates still want me around, I'm going to play. I'm not saying I'm going to play forever. But definitely, World Cup next summer, and then we'll reevaluate things.
And that is something that only you can do. And no one else obviously has a say in that. But you're still at the top of your game. We've seen your role change, obviously a little bit at the pro and national team level, but here you are setting records, 3rd record title in NWSL, setting the record for playoff minutes as well in NWSL. What would you say the difference was, though, with this title with Portland, with having Karina, Rian, and Janine Beckie with you?
This one was special for a lot of reasons. Just the growth of the league. I think back to year 1 when we won it as well, to year 10, and just the exposure, the opportunities. I mean, it being on prime time, major network, it just felt like a championship and where women's soccer should be. So there's that. And then to be able to share it with Karina, Rian, Janine. I mean, these are some of my best friends. Karina and Rian have been some of my best friends since I was 16. And to be able to play for them and to be able to, bring that little bit of Canada down to Portland was a blast.
You've been such a bright light for them. You've been such a bright light for this nation. Thank you for opening up because people love you, and they obviously, want to know more about you because of the love and respect they have for you and what you do every time you wear the maple leaf. So thank you.
Appreciate it.
If you enjoyed this content, don't miss anything that we're putting out on Soccer North. Be sure to download the CBC Gem app, head to the App Store, and hey, it's free.